Hello, hello, hello. Back again with a little more information because we were talking about remembering. And I just want to make it clear that if you are, in the throes of addiction and you still shooting up and smoking cocaine and crack, it's not a quick fix. And I want you to know that I feel obligated to do this. It's just in my heart, and it's like kind of like I'm getting older, and this happened a long time ago, and I feel like people who are going through the same thing, women, men, whoever, you need information as to how to get out of it. I'm a survivor, and it's a lot of people fail with their drug habits. So I just want you to know the way I got out. It's kind of like people who are lost, and say like you're in a cave or something, and it's just dark, and you see a few markers on the road. AA is like a marker to lead you out, and you still end up going backwards. You're just totally lost in a maze. What I'm trying to do before I leave this earth is to leave markers so you can find your way out. And even if you are in the middle of a high, find a way to pray to your God, whoever it may be, your God. Pray to your God in the middle of you being high. That's the beginning of what happened to me. I would be on the floor. I was the kind of person that crawled on the floor when I got high. I don't know why. Everybody do something different. But I wasn't paranoid. A lot of people get paranoid. But I would get on the floor and I would think that I dropped all of my dope on the floor. I'm on my knees, but I know it's not any dope on the floor, but I would believe that. But in the midst of all that, I still managed to pray. And when I say pray, I'm not talking about Jehovah God or that God or Jesus. I'm talking about this God, Mary. Because I would be on the floor and I would say, girl, if you don't stop, you're going to kill yourself. Why are you doing it? I'm talking to me. And I would say, please help yourself. Do something. And then I would say, God. But in the whole time, I'm talking to myself. And I would hear my voice saying, get up. Just get up. There's not any more crack on the floor. Get up and drink you some water. And I would try to obey that voice, but somehow or another, if it was some more dope left, I'm going to smoke it till it's all gone. I'm going to clean my pipe. I'm going to do it. And it's crazy, but in the middle of that, I'm still conscious, thinking about stopping and listening what my inner voice is telling me. My superconscious is telling me, but that's what I did. I did. I prayed every time I was down there on my knees. And my brother, he said, and he wasn't the type to just crawl on the floor, but he was paranoid, normal. I can't even say the word, but anyway, he suffered from that when he was high. And he would look out the window and do crazy things like that, looking for people. And everybody does it different, but the main thing is for you to get in touch with your inner self, your higher power during the time that you are high. And some people say that when they try to do that, it messes up their high. It's okay, mess it up. Because in your state when you're not high, you don't want to be like that. So mess up the high. If that's what you got to do, mess up the high. But I just want to let you know that it's not a quick fix, but it can be fixed. And you are in a dark, dark place. But what I'm trying to do is leave a light at every section. And one light that I'm trying to give you now is the light to connect with your God. because this is a serious thing. And if you have lost hope, ask your God to give you hope for the next day. But see, this doesn't come, the praying doesn't come until you want to stop doing drugs. It's not, you're not going to have a mind to pray if you just excited about dope. Oh, I got to get me some more. I got to get some more and this and that. But when you start getting tired of being tired, that's the point when you need to start praying. Because after that, if you don't connect with your higher self, you're going to be miserable and begin to get desperate. I've seen women who have done crack and stuff so bad until so long until they are a slave to it. And I was a slave to it too, because I smoked it and wanted to stop and couldn't. But there was a time when I loved it, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, I this is the way I did it, because I did it for 2.5 years, I think, a little over 2 years, and I began to look at people around me in the dope house, and when I was there, this one lady said, "What you doing here? You don't belong in here." I said, "I just came to get something. I'm just not gonna stay because the lady that you buy your stuff from, she was so great at what she does. These people would come to her and sit down and wait on her to light the pipe for them." So that was the atmosphere that I wanted, but I just didn't like sitting around with a lot of people that I didn't know. So I would smoke there and then come on back home. But on the way home, I said, "God, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this," because on the weekends, if you're a weekend doper, your money gonna be gone by Monday. And it doesn't make sense. And but I want you to know it's gonna be a slow process. But the first thing you have got to do is want to stop. You have got to want to stop. And if you're shooting up, and that's a whole different game, because when you try to quit, you're gonna get sick. It's a hard process, but I've seen people do it. But crack cocaine doesn't make you crave, but your body doesn't need it. So it's a different journey, because you could stop smoking dope, and if you don't think about it, you won't do it. But shooting up, you are sick, and I know what that feeling's like, because I'm on so many opiates and what they call this stuff, fentanyl patches. I wear a fentanyl patch every day, but when this patch, I wear one patch for 1 week, and on the the 6th day, that's when I start feeling bad, because the patch is wearing off. And on the 7th day, oh my God, I am so sick. I'm hurting. Everything hurts. I be wanting to throw up, and it's the withdrawal that I'm having. And time I put that patch on, about 10 minutes, I'm feeling better. I'm doing my laundry. I'm driving, going to the grocery store and everything. But that's this, I can imagine that's the feeling that you have when you are getting sick from shooting up. And like I said, that's a whole different ball game. But I have heard people who shoot up and stop, if they could get past 10 days of not having it, the sickness will wear off. But I'm just here to tell my story about the cocaine. And we're going to talk about it some more, but this is the first step for you to want to stop. And after that, well, another video will talk about what you do after the first stop. But even in it coming to the conclusion that I need to stop, this is just how my mind would do me. I would smoke the stuff and just, I knew something was wrong. And I would go get a thermometer, because they say your body temperature rise and blood pressure and everything. So I just said, well, I don't believe that. I went and got a thermometer, took my temperature, and the thermometer read 107. And I knew then, I said, well, I got to stop. I would run a bath, a cold bath, and put ice in it and sit in it to get my temperature back down. And do you know, when I got it back down to 98.6 in that tub, I get right back up and smoke again. Take my temperature, it'll get up to 106 and all of that. And I would say, this, you know your blood pressure is up. This is my spirit talking to me. You know it's up. Because there was a time when I knew my nose started bleeding, and I said, well, I'm going to die. And my ex took me to the fire department. He didn't want to go. He said, they're going to arrest us. They know we've been smoking dope. But I go on to the fire department, and he asked me what kind of night did I have. And I told him that I had been smoking crack and I smoked too much. And they took my temperature. The next thing I know, the other firemen were coming in and laying me on a stretcher. He said, you're about to have a stroke. And they started giving me medication before they could even get me in the ambulance. IVs and this stuff to make your head hurt. It was, oh man. I was sick, about to have a stroke. And after all of this, at the hospital emergency room, getting the blood pressure down, when I got back home from the hospital, do you know I went right back and did the same thing with the dope? So that is in the addiction. It got bad, real bad. And see, if I'd have stayed there smoking that stuff longer than that, I know I would have died. 2.5 years of that, I lost so much weight and was just going out. But I'm trying to, I hope you understand that regardless of how low you got, that is still a way out. And I believe that's the reason why I had to go through that. Maybe, I don't know, I don't know. It's lessons learned, a good lesson for me. And it's right, the right thing for me to do is to tell you how I got out. And that's what I'm doing. And I hope this helps someone. And we got to write our way out or talk it out and get to know ourselves and know who it is that's doing this, because it's you. It's nobody there but you. And I wrote a book called Nobody's Here But Us, Looking for God in All the Wrong Places. So I just thought I'd drop this little bit by. I'm coming up on 13 minutes. So I'm going to stop. It'll take, almost a day for this to load up. But I am here. I'm here for you, okay? Bye-bye.